The new Rogue Edge is out and we are going to put him to the test. Let's see how good he really is. So we're going to do some starter tests. I did ask the community who they think the current or the previous best option was when it came to offensive infantry. And they said either Bear and Wanderlust, but of course Wanderlust is an exclusive lounge, or Bear and Eagle, something along that lines. Obviously, Bear being the main one that provides that extra damage. So we're going to do a standard test here. We're going to do 2 attacks. We're going to do Bear and Eagle. We're going to do Bear and Wanderlust. Just so you can kind of see the difference about having Wanderlust on there as well. But we are going to do these 2 tests. We're going to kind of find out what the average time it takes to kill this tank. Obviously, no matter what officers we have on the tank's going to lose, right? So we do have, obviously, Madam Havoc and Uncle on here, guys. We just kind of want to have what the average person would have on there. Obviously, instead of having the offensive, we've just gone for the sort of hybrid-y option. So as you can see, we're going to start off this first attack. The known result here is going to be that the infantry win, of course, but with that being said, it's just how fast will they win. As we know, Bear gives a increasing amount of damage with that first skill. So as you can tell, now that that skill shot went off for Bear, the infantry is doing a lot more damage in general before than when it did the first 0 to 8 seconds. But we'll get a kind of average here on how long it takes to kill. I'm actually impressed with how well the MB is doing to actually get some kills off on this infantry in the first place. But this Bear, obviously, right now, and Eagle is a very offensive setup that we've got going on. So with that being said, there's not much protection on the infantry, so I'm not surprised that they did lose a couple. So we'll go through, we'll do another test with this, guys, and we'll go through the results at the end. So guys, here it is. The battle report has come in for both of the battles. Now, for these 2 battles, as you can see, the first one lasted for about 57 seconds, losing 19 units. And then the second one, we done the same, 59 seconds again, and we lost 20 units this time. But 59 seconds for both of those attacks when using the Bear with Eagle. Now, the next attack here, we are going to be using the Bear with Wanderlust, which is what I've been told was the go-to strongest option available. But there is a mystery one that I want to test out after this, before we get into the new officer, because we will get to the new officer. But I've been told by someone that apparently, although she is a officer for artillery, she's extremely strong on an infantry too. So I want to test it out because she has the burning. This skill, which is the damage intensity, is for an artillery, but this skill isn't, and also this skill isn't, but this one here is. So apparently she works pretty well on an infantry, so why not? Let's give her a try. But with that being said, let's quickly try and get into this next one here, which is going to be Bear and Wanderlust. Now, they do not have any skill damage, but as you'll notice here in a minute, this is how much damage they do. But the moment the skill shots go off, watch the amount of increased damage they are now doing together. This is now extremely more powerful than what it was at the start. And the reason for it is they are both just purely increasing the damage intensity output. Instead of dealing a little bit of skill damage every 8 seconds, they're just overall increasing that extra damage. With that being said, it definitely does look like it went much faster, and you can see the difference between the 2. So we're going to do one more test. We'll come back with both of the results here in 2 seconds. Okay, guys, so the reports are in, and for Bear and Wanderlust, the new result is 47 seconds, and then 41 seconds on the second attack. So 47 and 41, we'll average that out, you know, in general. But with that being said, it is definitely a lot faster than the previous 59 seconds on these, whereas 47 seconds or 41 seconds, it's much quicker. So as I said, I do want to quickly do one very quick test, guys, using Red Heat, because I have been told that Red Heat, apparently, where only one of her skills, and the Awakened skill, of course, is going to be available for, you know, dealing damage wise. Apparently she is extremely strong even on something like the infantry, because even her Awakened skill technically doesn't actually do anything except for increase the prep time of, you know, the unit that it's on. So technically you'd be able to get more of the skill shots out, but the skill shot damage itself is only 25% less than what it is on a Howie. So with that being said, let's give this a quick try. And I'm genuinely curious because, as I said, like, it's weird to think that, you know, an exclusive lounge, how it's officer, can be good on anything else other than a Howie. So I just want to see kind of how well it does compared to the normal setup you would have on the infantry itself. But overall, so far, it does seem to be fair. Like, it seems to be just a little bit better than using Eagle. But with that being said, it's nothing crazy much better in my opinion than someone like Wanderlust. But I'm only going to do the one attack with this. We're not going to do two. We're not here for the testing technically. It was just a little bonus thing that I wanted to try out. So let's quickly have a look at the red heat situation. It was 46 seconds, which honestly is not really any massively greater than the previous tests. If I'm honest with you guys, it's okay, but I wouldn't say it's anything impressive. It's better, as you can see, 59 seconds and 57 seconds was the Eagle one. And then we obviously had 47 seconds, 41 seconds with the Wanderlust, and then 46 seconds with Red Heat. So in order, guys, I do believe that it was much better, in fact. But again, if you have Red Heat Awakened, you're probably going to want to be using her on your artillery. With that being said, guys, we're going to try the new officer. So we are going to be testing Bear with the new officer, and we're going to kind of see just how well this new officer does in general. So let's quickly load this back up and get ready. So here it is, guys. We have gone and put on Bear with the new Rogue Edge. Let's quickly have a look to see just how strong this new officer is. Do you reckon he's going to be better than with Wanderlust or not? I'm really not too sure, because obviously Wanderlust is, at the end of the day, an exclusive lounge officer. Now, what I do believe would be better is Wanderlust with the new Edge. That we can test out as well. But this will definitely be better than with Eagle, in my personal opinion, just from the stats. But we will obviously be able to test out and see just how strong he is. So we'll do one more testing and we'll come straight back. So, guys, the reports are in with the new Rogue, Edge, and Bear. Now, as we can see here, the first one came in at 41 seconds. The second one came in at 35 seconds. So this is even better than Wanderlust and the Bear. So this is a huge upgrade. Now I'm wondering if we are to change over and get Wanderlust with his new officer, how much of a difference? Because as we know, Wanderlust is a much bigger and stronger version of Bear. So I feel like we could end up seeing some different and better results with this one. So let's get this fire on the way and just see how much of a difference it really makes. Now, of course, Wanderlust is a versatile officer. He's in the exclusive lounge and he is going to work on almost any unit. So obviously, would you definitely want him on your infantry? Maybe not. But obviously, Bear is still absolutely solid. And as you can tell, Bear with the new guy is already performing better than Bear and Wanderlust, which was the predecessor to this section. And yeah, that there, guys, to me, looked absolutely insanely fast. Only you losing 6 infantry. So we'll do the attack again and we'll find out. So here it is, guys. The results are finally in after doing the 2 tests. The first test with Rogue and Wanderlust come in at 35 seconds. And the second one came in at 30 seconds. So if we look back, guys, we can see that Bear and Rogue Edge came in at 35 seconds. And then obviously the Rogue Edge with Wanderlust came in at 35 and 30. So yes, Wanderlust with Rogue is going to be slightly better, but let's be honest, guys, 35 seconds is going to be just as good when using the Bear with the new officer. This is by far a massive improvement if we take a look here at the difference that we had from when it was Bear and Wanderlust on our unit at 41 seconds, and then also here at 47 seconds. So we are getting a massive improvement just from using free-to-play officers. This is how much of a big increase in damage and protection we are getting from these Gen 5 officers. So, is this something you're going to get? Have you already got them? If not, guys, and for example, you are potentially not planning on awakening this officer, but you do want to get a skill, as I mentioned in the previous video, this skill here, if you're using it on a protection officer, as in a defense base tanking officer, this is probably going to be one of the best skills you can use for skill training onto your base sieging infantry officer. Other than that, they do have a 25% damage intensity to tank and helicopters, But again, this is only tank and helicopters, so try and maybe go towards more of the universal skills, not just the tank and helicopter one. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the love and support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Hope you all have an absolutely beautiful rest of your night, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.